So this is what a coffee tree looks like. These coffee trees, as I mentioned before, were planted in March, April of '04, and now it's '09. So these trees are now in their 6th year of life. And coffee blooms after every heavy rain. We just had a very heavy rain, and they will bloom in about 10 days. But as you can see here on the same branch, we have itty bitty little coffee pinheads that are maybe 3 weeks old, and then those that are several months old, and then those here that are ready to be picked. So we only pick by hand. All coffee in Kona is picked by hand, and these are called coffee cherry. And now, of course, we are organic, so everything we do is by hand. We mow with my mower on the tractor, and we weed whack in between, and we spray organic fertilizer, and we throw organic fertilizer, so everything is completely organic and has been for over 3 years now. And so what we get are very large, very wonderful coffee cherries. And here, you know, I want to show you what we have inside. This, of course, is all pest and no chemicals, no pests. So I'm going to put one in my mouth and separate it like so, and chew on the skin a couple of times. It has a sweet, nutty flavor that some organics make a nice tea out of. And the beans themselves, I'm going to put another one here. The beans themselves are slippery, slimy, and are covered with something called mucilage that needs to be removed. The skins themselves become our organic fertilizer, or part of our organic fertilizer. And here in Kona, we use a method of milling called wet milling. There is so much moisture in these cherries that a little bit of pressure will just make them jump out. They may jump off my hand if I do this. There they go, 1, 2. So very easily they come out. So all Kona coffee is wet milled. A little bit of pressure will separate the beans from the cherry skins. Now, again here they are, and the way we pick is by hand into baskets, and I pay my pickers extra to pick only the cherry that look like tomatoes you want to eat the same day, or like sweet cherries when you buy the regular sweet cherries in the store, the dark cherries that are so dark that you still like to eat them. But nothing that's yellow or orange or green, of course not, and so on. So they pick more slowly, but they pick higher quality of cherry, and that's what I want. And so at the end of the day, all of the cherry goes into bags, and then we come down, pick up the bags, and go up to the mill and mill them there, and I'm going to talk about that next. So here is my secondary irrigation system. I have 1,600 little micro sprinklers here, and behind us is a 10-foot high irrigation pole. That's my primary system. I use them both for different purposes. We don't get enough rainwater here to get ideally the 40 to 60 inches that coffee needs, but with the 2 irrigation systems I deliver the water when the trees need it consistently, so I can always produce high quality coffee. Most of the farms, I don't think there are more than 10% of the farms, maybe 15 or so, I don't know for sure, that have an irrigation system, and all others depend on rain. And if the rains don't come, we just went through 8 weeks of drought here, then they produce inferior coffee that floats or just doesn't make high quality beans. And so with my irrigation systems, you can see how large and how full these cherry are. This is really first class product. Now, one thing I still want to say while I have the cherry in my hand is this. If you have done everything right, you have pruned properly, you have fertilized properly, you have watered properly, you have the same kind of trees that we have here, and you have done everything right, and then you harvest and you look at the beans that you have, there is nothing you can do that will improve the quality of these particular 2 beans. But there are 100 ways to screw it up, and people screw it up all the time. It's very important to do everything you can to maintain the quality of the bean once it's harvested. And there are many, many steps that can be done right or wrong. The other thing is that when you do harvest coffee, there are certain things that need to be done to improve the quality of the coffee overall, and what we do is we just winnow things out and make the overall coffee better, and I'll talk about this in a little while.